Well, good morning everybody. I'm here at a venue I've never even seen before. It's incredibly foggy, so you're not going to see that much at the moment. This is Springvale. It's a super popular venue. It's a venue I've heard lots about over the last couple of years. It's incredibly popular with clubs, and I'm here on a silverfish only match. It's an open match being run by Chris Buckley and the lads. So as you can see behind me, it's very foggy. And this lake is Newcastle Lake. I think it's going to be all about pole fishing. That's particularly what I'm going to focus on. Natural baits, however I've got some pellets as well, and you know, the target species in here are basically, from what I understand, a roach, eyed and skimmers. There are crucians in here, I think there are barbel, but carp don't count. Okay, so it's all about silverfish. So I'm going to get my gear out. I've spent quite a bit of time getting all my pole gear ready for some matches this winter, so I'm going to get all my gear sorted out, and I'll show you the approach, I'll show you the kit once I'm set up right here on peg 10. I'm all set up now. I'll give you a quick walk round of what we've got here. Basically, obviously I've got the pole up, the MTX4, a couple of rollers in going across the road here. I've got 3 different spots that I'm going to fish. I'll quickly talk you through them now. So I'm going to fish, it's about 5 meters to my left, just to my left down that slope. I'm going to be fishing there with maggots. I'm going to loose feed that with maggots. I've got some maggots that I bought from the fishery this morning. They do supply the bait here, so I've got some whites and reds in there. These are just a selection of dead hook baits, dead pinkies, floral maggots, that sort of thing. I've got some fishery micro pellets there, which I'm going to feed in one spot, and then I've got some F1 dark mixed up, and I've got some 4mm in there, some 4mm Pro Expander pellets. So the approach is basically going to be, I'm going to loose feed maggots at 5 meters. I'm going to build that up, and then I've got 2 lines out there at how far out will that be? It's about 11 meters. I'm going to fish one line to one side where I'm going to fish with maggots. I'm going to start off kinder potting or toss potting in maggots on that line, and then at the same length pole with the same rig, which is 0.5 gram finesse float to my left. However, I'm going to cup in micro pellets, micros on that line, and that's where I will fish the expander. I can obviously fish with double dead red maggot or double dead maggot over that, and as you can imagine, on that line, that is where I'm hoping to catch 1 or 2 better stamp fish. And that's really it. From everything that everyone I've spoke to, everyone says we should be getting plenty of bites. However, one of the biggest issues here is the stamper fish. You know, you can be getting a bite a cast, just like the angler at the next peg, but there can be a huge difference in the stamper fish. So obviously if I'm getting some bites, that's great, but I might need to try and find a way of catching a better stamp fish. There are lots of roach, lots of eyed. In fact, I'll show you the setup in a minute when I get on the box. So yeah, it's quite simple really. Obviously that short line, I'm going to build that up, and then when I go on that, hopefully by the time I've done that, there's going to be some fish settled on there. A couple of rules here: you've got to use the fishery nets here, so that's why I've got different keep nets. The fishery provides the nets and the landing net. Alright, so that's why they're different, and you have got to net every fish as well, so you can't be swinging fish in. Every fish needs netting, and that's about it. So I'll quickly talk you through the rig and everything before we get going, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully there's going to be plenty of fish out there waiting for us. So I'll just quickly show you the setup. I've had to put my top kits on the right today. Normally I would have them there out of the way, but that's where tripod and camera is. So for the 5 meter line, I've basically got 6 to 8 slick elastic with the small tiny Dacron connector, 014 main line, and this is a 0.4 finesse slim carbon. Alright, so it's carbon, so I can really just fish it through the water. I've had to black the tip out a little bit so you can see visibility is not great out there. And then I've just got a series of cube shots going down. They're bolts at the minute, but these move incredibly easy on this line. And then I've just got 1, 2, 3, 4 droppers there down to a size 18 hook to 011. So that's one that I can fish. Kind of, that's the more positive short line rig. And then I've got one set up for exactly the same line, exactly the same float, which is the finesse slim carbon again, but this is 0.2, slightly lighter elastic, 4 to 6 slick. Okay, and this is basically set at the same depth, but it's 0.2. So this is gonna, I'll just slide that back. This is going to allow me to fish even lighter through the water, and that is just strung out cube shot. And obviously that is a rig that I can use if the fish come up in the water and I'm catching shallow. Then for the long line, just got one rig set up to fish those 2 spots. Didn't really have time to put any more up, and that is again, it's 6 to 8. Yeah, 6 to 8 slick. Okay, and this again is a finesse slim, half a gram, but this is the wire stem version. That's it. This is the wire stem version, just for fishing on the deck. All right, then I've got all the cube shot, just kind of bulked just there, as you can see. But obviously I can move them about, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 droppers again. All right, so that is the line for the long line. So let me just get some maggots out there. Start priming that short line. Put that down there for a second, and that is it. Okay, nice and simple. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. You know, a few mates on that short line. Feed that by hand and build it up, and then on this longer line, I'm going to put a little ball of ground bait. Just one little ball of ground bait like that. This is the F1 Dark. A few maggots in there, so I'm going to go straight on this. I'll pop them in on my long line. Okay, and that is going to be my right hand swim, and this is the swim that I'm going to start on. So I don't want to obviously feed this one too aggressively or strongly at the minute, because I'm going straight on it. Right in line with that tree there. Okay, so that's that one. And then to the left hand side, this is the line that I'm hopefully going to, well, I'm going to try and target some skimmers on there. Better stamp fish. I'll put a bowl of pellets in. That's all I'm going to feed on that line, in a bowl, so it goes to the bottom intact. Yeah, and that is it. Bit of an unknown, this one. I don't know what it's going to be like with expanders, but it's something I just want to try, make it a little bit more interesting for you. And this is at the same length, same rig as just to the right of that tree there, if you can see on the camera all right. That's it. So I plan on starting on that longer line, and we'll see what happens. All the time I'm just going to keep flicking a few. And all I'm going to do is just keep flicking some maggots on the short line. I'll have to use a catapult. That'll be better initially. I've got a pot on there if I don't want to start potting in, but I'm just going to start on a single white maggot to start with. See if there's anything out there. That's the main thing. We'll be trying to see the float, I think. Don't know what the biggest fish is. Hopefully that fog looks like it's clearing. It seems to be brightening up a little bit. Well, I've just adjusted my depth a little bit. I've gone a little bit further over depth, and just up to fish out there. Didn't feel that big. Now it's suddenly fighting. The lad next to me has just caught a carp. Obviously they don't count. This is feeling like this could be a carp, but it's looking like a carp now, isn't it? But I've heard stories of there are barbel in here as well, up to 1.5 pounds. So at this stage, I mean, it's high up in the water, this, so I'm guessing it's a carp. A little bit annoying. But obviously if there are barbel in here, especially around that £1.5 pound, I don't really want to be just expecting it's a carp, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's a carp. No, you won't. I think we miss a trick sometimes, don't we? Oh well, nice fish. That 011 length held anyway. That 011 breaks at about £3. Stuck in the corner of his mouth. Nice fish. Shame they don't count. That gave the elastic and a rigger work out anyway, didn't it? The thing is, I'll keep feeding that short line. I think that could be the banker today. Still quite positive with it. I'm putting a few maggots in. There's been one silverfish caught on my right. That's it. Caught on my left. I think that elastic's going to need tightening up in a minute. Sounds like it's a slow start on the other bank as well. Not surprising, it was just 1 degree when I got here this morning. Cold fog. It's going cold overnight. Silverfish right up there next to me. I've just had one tiny little skimmer. This is looking like a silverfish. Slow start for everybody really. There's not many fish being caught at the minute, but we've had 2 consecutive frosts. Interesting to see what this one is. Is it an hide? I heard there's hide and chub and all sorts in here. There we go. We're off the mark with a proper fish. Nice start that as well. Nice if they start coming. I was just on double maggot. Keep the maggots going in. The fog's starting to clear now, which is good. Well, the lad next to me is getting one every single drop in now. Oh, it's a carp. I was hoping that was going to be something else. Well, this is getting frustrating now. Carp. Ah dear. We're doing good, aren't we? Yeah, change it after 2 hours. Well, the lad next to me is catching a silverfish every single cast. And I don't really know what the answer is. A bit frustrating now. We've been fishing. How long have we been fishing? An hour and 15 minutes. I've been fishing an hour and 15 minutes and it's really not going to plan. It's just not getting bites. When I do, a carp. I've got 3 silverfish. I've got that chub. I've got a little crucian and a tiny little skimmer. And that is it. Next to me is getting one every chub. Obviously doing something right. Getting a bit further out than me. I don't know if that's what the difference is, or I don't know whether it's feeding. I just don't want to, even though I'm not getting any bites, I don't really want to ease off the feed, if that makes sense. Everybody was talking about how well it's fishing, saying you probably need 50 pound of silvers today, but and I still believe that. I think it can get better later on, but I just don't want to be too negative. There are 2 drops in on that pellet line with expander, but I haven't had a sign on that. The fog's cleared now, but still feeding that 5 metre line. Obviously I've had a quick look on it, haven't had any bite, didn't get a sign. See, that looked like an indication there, but it just feels like there's definitely something I'm not doing right on this line. I should be getting more bites. I've just moved all those shots down the rig so that it's a little bit more positive, so there's more weight down, so that if they are only just sucking it in, it should register those bites better. So I'm not getting any signs on the drop or anything like I expected we would be doing. persevere with this, just keep them maggots going in on that 5 metre line. But we're fishing an hour and a quarter, and it is slow, to be fair. It's all down to my left are struggling. A lot of my left's only just had his first fish. They've had a bit of carp trouble as well, so it is fishing hard. But obviously you've seen so many fish being caught on my right, and there's obviously some fish feeding, so I'm just going to keep playing around with the feeding, trying different hook baits and stuff, and see if I can put a run of fish together on this line while I'm building up that short line. Move that shot down and just wait a bit longer that time, a bit more patience. Looks like we've got a decent silverfish. Looks like an hide maybe. Well, that's good. Oh, lovely stamp, aren't they, those? Yeah, so hopefully a bit more positive shotting pattern's a bit better. You see how it's all bulked down near the bottom now, spread bulk. 3 droppers. Let's see if that's going to make a difference. It's got double maggot on again. 2 fresh ones on this time. I'm so confident that keep bait going in on that line. The fish will come. So sure about it, so confident. It's a nice distance from the bank, and you can see how coloured it is. I think I'm just going to be a bit patient, not chase it too much at this stage. There's only the odd fish being caught, so I'm going to try not to chase it. Taking the cad pot off now, the toss pot. I'm just trying to big pot it if you want. There we go. That looks like a carp to me. Yeah, pretty sure it's a carp. It's gotta be. Oh dear me. Trouble there with the silvers is that they're all carp there. They're never gonna settle properly, are they? Came up, it's a nice 2-pound chub or a barbel or something, wouldn't it? This is where your side puller comes in, doesn't it, with these soft elastics. Well, next to me is catching little tench all the time. He's obviously doing something different. There we go. Oh, that's another carp. Well, just got to keep going. I think I don't really know what else I can do at this stage. Just got to keep going. Got some more bait, I think. Maybe it's the volume of bait. I'll try it. It might be the volume of bait I'm putting in. I don't know. Am I putting too much in? That's what's bringing the carp in. I don't know. Put about 30 maggots in and go over the top. Keep that short line fed. A few maggots. Really need that one to kick in, don't I? Just going to go dropping over the top now, a double maggot. Very little being caught, especially down to my left. The lad on my right's definitely doing the best from what I've seen. It's telling me there are some fish there, only a peg away. I'm trying to figure out how to catch them. Yep. Obviously doing it right. You're making it look easy. I want to set a camera up behind you. Well, I'm hoping this is not another carp. I've made a couple of changes in the last few minutes, which I'll tell you about in a moment. Tench, there we go. Well, that's encouraging for the change that I've just made. It's a nice fish. Nice, start catching some that sort of size. So basically I've just completely changed what I've been doing. My short line I've actually brought back to top kit +2 now, just so that I can feed it much easier by hand. That's what's one of the lads recommended. And what I've also done is, because I'm not getting any indications on that 11 metre line, the lad next to me has been getting one a chuck. It's slowed down a little bit for him at the minute, but just more for confidence than anything. About 10 minutes ago I went out and set a new line, put a new line in. So I've got a line now at 13 metres straight in front of me. Set it up with about 30 maggots, and I've just rested it for 10 minutes while I had a look on my short line. Didn't get anything on the short line. Just gone out onto this new 13 metre line, which is straight in front of me, with double maggot, and I just sat on it, just be nice and patient. I think I'm chasing it a little bit because I'm so many fish behind. And I had a lovely bite, and obviously I've just caught that tench, so the man next to me's got another one. He's catching really steady now. So I'm hoping this new line, it is in slightly deeper water, it's about 6 inch deeper out there, and it's obviously further out as well. So I'm hoping that I'm just going to start putting getting some bites initially, start putting some fish in the next. I'm a long way behind him. Obviously just keep feeding this other line. The pellet line to the left I've just completely sacked off. I've not had a sign on that now, so it's just keeping it really simple now with maggots on 2 lines. I'm keeping this pole pot on, and I'll just keep putting a few maggots in on this line each cast, and just be a little bit more patient. We're obviously not after loads and loads of bites at the minute. Well, I'm not anyway. So that's where I'm at now. So I'm on this brand new line at 13 metres. I'm hoping by trickling a few maggots in on that line, each drop in, it's just going to trigger something. I'm a long way behind, so I just want to start trying to just build something now. So I've stripped everything back now, just 2 lines, both with maggot. That's a bite. Yes! Come on, be a silverfish, be a silverfish. If this is a silverfish, then it looks like it is. This is going to be really big confidence boost. That'll be 2 in 2 on this new line. Just hope it's going to be the right species. Is it a skimmer? Might be a skimmer, this one. Or an eyed. Looks like an eyed. Brilliant. So that's a really positive response, isn't it, to that new line. So I'm just going to nurture this line now. Nurture that line now. Good. Well, it's been certainly a positive change, hasn't it? Positive response. Hopefully that's going to give me something to build on now. I really ought to net my fish to the other side now. Now that I've brought that short line nearer. Try and keep disturbance to the right now. Just keep a few maggots going here. Well, that's brilliant. That really good confidence boost. It's got the same hook on and everything. Size 16 to 011. About an inch over depth. There's a tiny little bit of toe on it. So I've just got to try and fish my own match now, really. Hopefully we can put a few fish together on this line now. I've just had a little tench, about 3 or 4 ounce on this same line. I'm hoping this is a counter. It's a decent fish. Whatever it is. Have a tench. Well, this new line's definitely better. I'm a long way behind. There we go. Lovely fish. I'm a long way behind. And it's going to be really easy to chase it on this line, but so I'm just hoping it's going to get stronger, but it's obviously a much better response. We've put a few maggots in each drop in now, just trying to be positive, but we are chasing it, if that makes sense. Just be patient. There's a couple of indications on that last drop, or the last couple of drops. This is miles better than the other one. Yeah, better stamp fish as well, or tension on this, but I've got to accept that not in. Catch the lad on my right. Yes. Don't be a carp, don't be a carp. Running quite a bit, that one. Hard to tell on the softer elastic. Sometimes it's almost as though the carp don't realise that they're hooked. I'm fighting back a bit now, this one. Yeah, I think this one could be a carp, I'm afraid. Especially this size, because you know this is how those bigger eyed and tench fight. So you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt when you first hook them. Oh well. Just going to plough on, keep doing what I'm doing. Just catch what I can on this line. Through this middle bit. Hope things improve. Well, it's gone completely dead on that long line now, which is really frustrating. And the last couple of fish I have had on that line, I've had to wait ages for, which is even more annoying because I need to be catching fish, you know, playing catch up. I've had a couple more carp as well, so I've just refed it, put about 30 maggots in with a big pot. I'm just going to have a look on this short line. I'm absolutely desperate for a line to kick in, whether it's this one or the long one, but I'm so far behind. I'm having to wait so long for bites that I'm never ever going to catch up at that rate. So I've just done that just to give it a rest. There we go. Oh, don't be a carp. Don't be a carp. Don't be a carp. That's my first bite on this line. Good fish. I think it's a carp, isn't it? Or is it a big eyed? It's a big eyed. Wow, how about that? The kind of stump eyed that you want. Beautiful stump, that, isn't it? Just on double maggot again. Really could do with them coming on that short line. Good, nice positive bite as well. So we are, for an update for you, it's half past 12 now. So we're bang on halfway. Weight wise, I don't know what I've got. £6, £7, that's all. So yeah, I'm going nowhere that last hour. A lot on my left, started getting 1 or 2 now as well. So he's catching up. Not catching me up. I think he's in front of me. Oh, there's another bite then. Well, that's encouraging, isn't it? So some fish have settled on this line. I've been feeding it for 2.5 hours now, so I've come back a little bit onto top kit +2. I'm feeding it quite positive as well. Yes. That's another decent fish as well. Try and net it over here this time. Any fish is a bonus at the minute. Nice stamp, aren't they? Don't want to be too negative on this line, you know. When the fish rock up, I want to try and capitalise on it, keep them there. Try and find the best way of lowering this rigging. Lower it in that way this time, so that depth's going to be a little bit more accurate. A bit of a breeze on it now. I've been told that toe can really increase on here. It feels quite open, you know. These sorts of lakes, even with slightest of wind, can really increase that toe, which will obviously affect presentation. What am I right? Still catching that? That was a lift bite that time. Let's see what this one is. That's a lift bite, so I don't know if it's hooked right or not. Nice if it's a big hide or something. Yeah, it is. They're the ones, aren't they? Look at that. Oh, fantastic. 5 minutes or so. Look at that. Beautiful fish. So they fished that a lot more accurately now. I've really fed this line really religiously. I've fed it a lot more frequently than some of the anglers around me have. So whether that's been the right thing to do or not, well, these lads obviously are regulars, they know the venue well, but I just felt confidence wise that if I could feed it more frequently, it would give me an edge and make it more likely that a fish should come to me. Feed that line, set the next one up if I can. Another hide by the looks of it. There we go. Well, that pace is brilliant, isn't it? With how quick we can land them. I think that elastic needs a little bit of a tweak, to be fair. What I'm going to do now, put a few maggots in. Just going to tighten that a little bit. This was a brand new elastic yesterday. Wasn't sure what we were going to be fishing for, to be fair, or what stamp fish anyway. So I'm just going to tighten that, might just help set that hook a little bit cleaner. Good thing with this system, you know, it's easy to just adjust and tighten the elastics. That's it. Shorter lash, shorter length between float and tip feels much better. That's another decent fish as well. The stamp on that is brilliant. Brilliant stamp, aren't they? Wow, it's completely transformed it, hasn't it? Completely transformed my my catch now. Right, so what I am going to do is just quickly top up my long line, put a pot of maggots in. Just going to put that many maggots out there, stay nice and positive on that line. I want to keep that line alive while I'm fishing the short line. If those big eyed like that come onto it, that volume of bait will get mopped up in no time, won't it? Well, that inside line is completely dried up after that last fish what you saw me catch. So I've just gone back long onto that 13 metre line. And I've just had an eye on there, but then I've had nothing for about 10 minutes. Is this a little carp? It is a little carp. Oh, that's disappointing. I haven't had anything for 10 minutes. Yeah. Nice little fish, but oh good. Today, I was just about to say hopefully that was another fish for the net, but it wasn't. So I'm obviously feeding this short line, trying to build it back up again. Oh, it has a rest. So I don't know why I'm just not getting any bites on this long line. It's really disappointing, really. But keep going, keep building up that short line. Keeping a few maggots going in that pot, as you can see. Just hope I can keep picking off fish while this inside line kicks in. Well, I've just decided to take the cup off again and go a big pot in. I've just rested this 13 metre line and just gone on it and had an eye. And then I went in again and just by being a bit patient, I caught a skimmer. And then I've just gone in again and I've hooked this, which I'm pretty certain, it's pretty obvious it's a carp. So frustrating, you know, you just get one or two bites and then you go and get a carp then. But what can you do? It's easy catching carp on here, isn't it? It weren't a big tench.
You're praying for it to be
Yeah. Moment, all my lines are dead. Just completely dead. I've got to admit, I have pushed them. I pretty much felt like the answer was going to be to feed. You know, feed and feed to get the fish there, and it's not been the case at all. I think I probably just overcooked it, to be fair. But so there's just over an hour left. I'm just going to have a look on my short line. He's got another fish there now. But he's caught on every line he's been on. He's done brilliant. Oh, we need some fish to settle on this line, but it's yeah, I really feel like that 13 metre line is just dead now. So I'm not going to, I've just come off it, but I'm not going to refeed it. I'm just going to leave it because there's loads of bait out there. I think obviously all the carp activity is not helping things, is it? But you know, there's nothing you can really do about that. I'm still not sure if I'm on the right baits or not, but I've just focused on maggot, as you've seen. I don't really know if expanders or caster or chopped worm or anything like that. I've no idea. I've no idea what people have really been feeding. I haven't heard anyone using worm scissors, so I don't really know how I could have got more bites, to be fair. But there's an hour to go, so I'm just going to keep trickling a bit of bait, and I'm not going to push this short line too much now because I think I've just been way too positive anyway after that first hour. So I'm going to keep feeding regular, but just to only, you know, that's a bite. It's going to be another net fish as well. Maybe I've just got to be a bit more patient. I don't know. Looks like another ride. I don't know if I've just got to be patient with it and just not expect it to go under straight away. See, they're a lovely stamp. I could have a run of those. They'll soon boost your weight. Yeah. Great stamp, aren't they? I've no idea what sort of weight I've got. I've got double figures, but I kind of lost track a little bit with that, to be fair. And put a fresh maggot on that one. I'll just see how this progresses now in this last period. I've got this set just sitting on the bottom, only just, literally less than an inch, if that. Just holding it. There's a little bit of toe going to the right. I'm going to be very cautious about what I feed on this line. As you saw, I waited a bit for that. It was just a lovely clean bite, and obviously a nice net fish. So I might just need to just slow things down this last hour and not try and chase it. I'm never going to catch him on my right anyway, but obviously it'd be good to get a lot nearer to him. The lad on my left keeps catching steady. He's rotating lines. He's had a bit of carp trouble as well. And down to the right, I haven't really seen anything, but I haven't been looking. The match feels like it's gone really quickly, but I'm confident we're going to get a little run of fish late on in this last hour. It's just, obviously I need them to be net fish now as well. Looks like another net fish. Not seen anyone else really catch on this short line today, which is interesting. Not yet anyway. They've been able to catch long and I can't. So half the plan's working. Another ride. Oh, fantastic stamp, aren't they, those? Anyway, take you long to build a weight if you had a run of those. I'll come off that 30 metre line, just come back short again, and I had a couple of little indications, but I really think this is the only line now that I need to be on. Just try and eke out every fish I can on it. Just don't expect it to be a manic finish. Just catch anything, just potting in a few maggots and just being patient, holding the float back against the toe. I really think this is going to be the only way of catching any fish late now, and obviously any that I do catch, I've just got to hope that, putting a few maggots in, just got to hope that they are a decent stamp, just to claw a bit of weight back. I've no idea really what else has been caught. Lad on my left has just had a nice little run. But yeah, it's been a real test today. But like I say, this good half an hour or so left now. If I could have a run of hide like that one, I'll soon put a few pound in the net. Yes. Well, how about that? 2 in 2. Let's hope this is going to be the finish that I need. Looks like another ride. Those chunky fish, aren't they? Well, I've just tapped a few more maggots in. I thought I'd hooked another ride. This is looking like it's a carp, which is the last thing I wanted. Just thought I was going to have a little run of fish short in this last period. It's looking very carpy, isn't it, I'm afraid. Ah dear. Just when I thought we were getting somewhere on this line, that doesn't happen. Ah well. Just got to keep going. Well, I've got to openly admit that this last period has been very disappointing. I had a couple of fish, a couple of eyed, decent fish, but then I missed a couple of bites. And funnily enough, when I was fishing my long line, whenever that happened, the next fish that I got was a carp, and that's exactly what happened on here. I missed 2 bites. When I haven't missed any bites prior to that, I missed 2 bites in 2 casts, and then my next fish was a carp. And then I haven't had an eyed since. Can hear 1 or 2 lads saying that their short lines just haven't produced today. So I have obviously caught a few fish on this line. I've had most of my weight on this line, to be fair. That 30 metre line, once that went, well, it never really got going. But after putting that ball of ground bait in, I haven't had a sign on it, I haven't had a bite. So there's definitely been a big issue there as regards feeding today. Lad on my right's just netting another fish. He's not stopped all day. He's had an absolutely fantastic day. I had no idea what sort of weight he's got, but he could even possibly be the match winner today. I haven't seen anybody catching as much as him. That's it. Well done, mate. Is that a carp? You're finishing on a carp? Yeah, you've done enough damage without that though, don't worry about that. You haven't had time to hook carp. You've been too busy catching silvers. You're hoping it's a tench? It is a carp, is it? Well, I've got to admit that's been one of the biggest tests I've had for a long time. I've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it. It's been nice to fish a new venue, and now the fog's cleared, you can actually see what the venue actually looks like, you know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's been quite a few fish in front of me. You know, I've got to be honest about that, and I just think it's the way that I've fed, possibly the bait. I don't know. Obviously, I've stuck to maggots, as you've seen, more than anything. The expander pellet thing never really got going. I've not really had a bite on that, but I ditched that line quite early, and yeah, it doesn't sound like it's been amazing today, and certainly not by this fisheries standards anyway. But the lad on my right's done absolutely fantastic. After about the first 20 minutes, he started getting bites on that long 13 metre line. Well, he's had 2 lines actually out there, and he's had a shorter line, and he's caught on all 3, ticked over. So I think he'll be the match winner, I really do. But yeah, it's been really interesting. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed fishing the pole, but I think it's definitely been a feeding thing. Sounds like the short line hasn't worked for most people. Sounds like I've possibly, in these pegs anyway, caught the most on that short line. It's a good job I have, because that's where I've had most of my weight. But it's been alright. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed having all the pole gear out again. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and now my pole gear is getting back up to scratch with all my rigs and stuff that's been taking me a while to get together. I'll be able to fish more silverfish matches through winter, and I'm going to be doing my best to film them for you. But this is a fantastic fishery, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of weights they've had, because a lot of them are small fish, but some of them have net fish as well. So we'll start getting some gear packed away and wait for the scales to come down. So they've ended up weighing £17 odd, a little bit better than I thought, to be fair. I was obviously hoping to be around that £20 mark. Lad on my right's weighed £30, 33, 34 I think it was. He's done fantastic. However, the top weight at the moment is down there. There's a £40 down there, 43 I think, 44. Chris Butley's had 30 odd pound. You know, and when you see the size of the fish, you know, when they rock up, you can see how they can easily get those weights. I mean, I've hardly caught today, I've struggled, and I've still had £17 odd, and I've had all those quiet spells, one or two poor decisions, and I've had quite a bit of carp trouble as well, but really enjoyed it. I've got loads of silverfish matches going through winter, as well as the other matches, right here on the Catch Fishing channel, but I'll put the full result up here for you, just so you can see how the match has actually finished. They're still weighing in down there. And obviously, if you'd like to see more live matches like this going through winter, please let me know in the comments below. Give this a thumbs up, and please hit subscribe if you want to see more videos from this channel. But this is definitely a fish-filled venue that I definitely will be coming back to and fishing again.